Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I never stopped painting. You know, back at school, art was everything to me. And then life happened. University, responsibilities. The idea that maybe I should do something practical, something grown up, something meaningful. Then suddenly years have passed. I got my degrees. But was it really worth it? Many of you might wonder the same thing. So today I want to answer the question which I see quite often on the internet. Is it really possible to get back to art after you've turned 30? Or is it already too late? So for me, personally, this all started when I was 3 years old. Long story short, my dad is the artistic component in this family, and he taught me drawing when I was just a kid, a preschool kid. He taught me drawing animals, he taught me drawing anything. My mom is more of a calculator brain. She's good with numbers, she's good with counting. She's the brain in the marriage. She's not really artistic, although she can be if she wants to. So from a very young age, I loved creativity, I loved creating stuff, I loved making something happen. I even remember when I was in kindergarten, in winter, when we had lots of snow, I would just go out, grab the snow, and start making snow sculptures out of them. They were usually dogs, because I had a dog. And I loved my dog. And I missed my dog in kindergarten. So I just made my dog out of snow. Then at school, you know, I enrolled myself to all sorts of painting classes, additional classes. I spent long evenings at school just painting. Inhaling the turpentine and oil paints which I started with, and I had a mentor, I had a great teacher, and I spent every possible minute there, and I loved it. But as time passed, I remember clearly while thinking about going to high school, I started to think about future plans and real jobs. And art slowly disappeared from that life. There was no time, there was no drive in a way. There was no space for it, really. And years simply went by, as they always do, because time never stops, and time never slows down. And you're left with your own choices. If you don't do what you love doing, then it simply slips out of your life until you chase it down back. But the point is, even at this point, even at the point of choosing my high school, even at the point of starting my high school and having no time for absolutely anything, the regret of stopping painting was already there. And do you know what's number one lie that people believe? Number one lie people tell themselves is that you have to have talent to be successful. That you have to be born with those amazing abilities to sing or paint or draw or do whatever, which is absolute nonsense. How good you are is determined by how much time you put into things, how many repetitions you have made, not talent on its own, you know. I always heard I was talented when it comes to painting and drawing in school. People and students always ask me, my classmates always ask me to draw something for them. They even asked me to make them tiny tattoos at some point. But you know what? That's only because I started when I was 3 or 4 years old with my dad on the carpet drawing funny animals. That's all. But I bet that's easy to tell yourself, oh, I'm 30 plus, right? I cannot start. You need to be talented. It's too late. It's too late. It's not. It's never too late. And you know, places like Instagram, they don't help really, because you always believe, you always have the impression that people are ahead of you, that they are so far in front of you that you can never reach them, you can never chase them down, you can never be the same and paint the same and do the same. Rarely do they think that they don't have to be the same. They don't have to be the same to be successful and happy and fulfilled with their art. Because you cannot really compare yourself when you start, even after a break, to someone who's doing this all the time, painting all the time for 20 years. And then you're someone who painted in primary and middle school, and then you simply start again after 10 years and you expect to be like amazing. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And you know what the real problem is? The real problem is that we as adults are so afraid. We are so afraid of looking bad, of making mistakes. Like how the heck are you gonna learn and move forward if you don't make mistakes? How? You know how many canvases I wasted? You know how many paints I've gone through just to reach the level I'm at? Dozen. People are also afraid of wasting time. Which is kind of funny, because you've already wasted time not doing the thing you love, and now you are afraid of wasting time while doing the thing you love. Show me the logic in that. Show me the logic. Nothing you do, nothing you could ever do that brings you happiness is a waste of time. Is it knitting, crocheting, painting, taking photos, pottery, anything? Even if you're just starting and you create a wonky mug, you're gonna love that mug forever, trust me. And another thing which is very close to me as well, also as teacher, starting at the beginner level, you come back to something, you expect to be a pro, but you're not. You are back at the beginner level because you haven't done it for so long, and that's simply how it is, and you have to take all the steps again. But you know, we adults, we don't want to do that. We expect to try something and be perfect at it, and that doesn't happen that way. You know, success doesn't come overnight. It simply doesn't. Accept it. And there is the embarrassment. You create something you're actually proud of, or you create something that you see mistakes in, but you will not show it to anyone because you're embarrassed, because you're afraid of what they will think about you, or because you create something abstract and they will simply laugh at your work, and you don't want to go through that. You don't have to. You don't have to show your work. You can also paint for yourself until you're comfortable. But did you know what? That's the thing you do is mainly for you. It's your creative expression, it's what's coming out of you, it's what you give shape to from nothing. Like, obviously from your memories and feelings, but you shape the blank canvas, you make it something. You make it a part of you. That's pretty amazing if you ask me. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And if someone doesn't like it or understand it, you're fine. We don't have to like the same things. I don't like every piece of art I've ever seen, even the most beautiful or realistic one. I just don't. Sometimes I don't like the colors. This is fine. There are things I would never hang in my bedroom, even if they are the most amazing artworks of the world. Says who? Some collectors? Some galleries? Some art experts? No, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Remember that. Do you know what's happened when I started again? Do you know what happened when I started again? I remember the joy. It's actually a funny story, because I started again sometime after finishing my studies. Or at the end of it, I don't remember. But I had this crazy idea. I wanted to give the most unique gift to the most unique person in my life. And what else could that be if not a piece of yourself painted, right? For me, painted. So that's what it is. I bought a set of watercolors, paper, got some reference photos of the thing I wanted to paint, and I got down to it. And I can tell you the joy I felt after touching paint, after so many years of not doing it, was golden. And it doesn't matter, this picture could have been a million times better if someone professional painted it. Fine. It doesn't matter, it was maybe not the most proportional piece of a cat I ever have painted in my life. It doesn't matter, I chose watercolor, which is like the most hard thing for me, because I rarely practice it in my whole artistic career, and to think of it, it was crazy to do that back then. But I did it, and I finished the piece, and I was happy, and I framed it, and I spent all my afternoon looking for the perfect golden frame to put it in. And then I gave the person that gift. And it was amazing. It was well worth everything. And since then I was back at it. Sometimes more often, sometimes less often, but I went back to painting again. Until I fully committed a few years ago. And I'm here with paintings surrounding me in my painting room. And you know what's the most crazy thing I realized? I needed the creativity back. Yes, you go to university, you study, you learn all those things, all those useless things, let me tell you. There is some room for creativity. If you're Master of Arts, yeah, there is some room for creativity, but unless you study art, you don't really get to express yourself that way. And I need that, and I think many people need that, even if for only therapeutic purposes. Yeah. However, there are some things nobody talks about when you actually do start art later in life. And to be quite frankly, to be quite honest, I think there's a big advantage in that. What really, who are you? When you hit 30, who are you? After 30, who are you? You're someone who's got some experience in your life, right? You can put that into your work. You have stories to tell. You have emotions you lived and felt, and they inspire you. I don't know an artist who's not inspired by emotions or memories or memories or feelings, experiences. Different perspective than when you had at 18 or 20 even. Different level of patience. I can sit now and paint my painting for 20 hours straight if I want to. If I remember to eat and drink sometimes. But yeah. You know, we 30 plus, people over 30, we don't have to rush anymore unless we are stuck in a corporate job, which is a mistake in itself. But we don't have to rush anymore. We don't have to get our degrees. We don't have to gain work experience too much, because we should have an established career by now. And if we don't, that's also fine. But we don't have to rush it. We can try things. We can explore things. We can simply forget things. We can simply do our job and come back to our hobbies after And maybe at some point we could make our hobbies our job, which is the dream. Think of that. You couldn't do it at 20. You didn't have the means, you didn't have the money, you didn't have the time. I didn't have the time when I had to study in the morning, finish my classes, and then go to work straight away and be back at home at 20. I didn't have the time to do that. I didn't have the time to paint. Now I do. I'm using that. So maybe the question isn't even can you start, can you go back to art or anything really in your 30s. Maybe the real question is how many years do you still want to wait and spend wishing you'd started earlier. And you know what? My favorite saying is, time will pass anyway. It's up to you what you do with it. Use it. Oh, I have half an hour. Do I have half an hour? Nice piece of art, isn't it? My nose is kind of blocked. I don't know why. It's because of the heat, I tell you. Even if it's gloomy, it's still hot. How to live? That's hot. Still is hot. Go away. Shh. People.